The transfer window is really starting to heat up at the City Ground as Nottingham Forest are in for yet another old boy. And will Forest hijack a Leeds deal? Let's get into the latest transfer news. Welcome to Forest Fan TV. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are. Whatever time of day you're watching this, hope you're having a fantastic day and welcome to your latest Forest news. Coming up in today's episode number 2 of the transfer window, is a link to an old Forest player. And I mean old in both sense of the word, in terms of he's actually quite old and he used to be a Forest player. Of course, we are talking about Antonio. On top of that, Forest have been rumoured to be hijacking a deal from Leeds for a midfielder, an American midfielder, which we'll talk about in a second. But before we do all that, please don't forget, just quickly take a second to hit the like on the video. Make sure you spread the word about Forest Fan TV just by hitting the like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And if you'd like to support us and become a member, it's the cheapest membership on YouTube for only 99p. But let's jump into the news and let's talk about Antonio. Antonio, the player that's out of form at West Ham United, the player that the West Ham fans are turning on, the player that is beloved to us at Nottingham Forest. Man, that link up with Bolonga was one of the best partnerships we had over the last 10 years. But could he be returning to Nottingham Forest? And how do we all feel about it? Well, let's get into it. Antonio's on over 50k a week currently and is slightly falling out of favour at West Ham United, and it looks like he is the one trying to push a move away from them. Ideally, he would like to remain in the Premier League, and clubs like Forest and Leeds may be interested in him. But with that nostalgia effect, would that be the one that brings him back into Forest ahead of Leeds? I think if there is any truth in this, then Forest will be where he ends up. However, I have to say, as much as I love him, sentimentality has to go out of the equation. He has been very poor for West Ham this season and the back end of last season. And is he coming to the end of his striking powers is the question we should be asking ourselves before getting too excited about one of the old boys coming back. And for me, I don't know if I want Forest to turn into a bit of a retirement home. We've just seen that with Wood joining from Newcastle. With this link to Antonio as well, it does start to worry me that up front we are struggling to attract in those young, players that might make a change to us, those sought after players. And we're looking for experienced old heads from the Premier League who have that Prem experience. Now, maybe that's something you want, maybe it's not. I'd be interested to know in the comments down below. But for me, I don't think it's the right move. I think he's past his best. A lot of you are going to say to me, he's a bit of a Keenan Davis, though. He's strong, he can hold the ball up, he can bring others into play, and he's got a goal in him. I get that. But he's not the player we once had, especially when he was out on the right wing, blistering pace and everything like that. And ask the West Ham fans, maybe they're watching, would they get rid of Antonio? And I think the majority of them right now would say yes, they would. So the other problem you've got with this is that Moyes has come out and said that this is being driven by Antonio. West Ham wants to keep him. And on top of that, Danny Ings, who just joined West Ham, is out for at least a few weeks. So the likelihood of West Ham wanting to get rid of Antonio could only be led by them actually signing another striker to replace the replacement of Danny Ings, which is just hilarious. Imagine we'd got Danny Ings. My God, we wouldn't see him for a couple of years. So there is still a lot to happen for this one to go through. I'm not convinced by it at all. And I really want to know if you guys want the old flame to come back. They always say, never get with your ex. And this would be one of those scenarios for me in it. But your opinion's more important than mine. So let me know in the comments down below. There's been other rumours on Weston Mckennie, who looks set to join Leeds United for a loan fee to start with and then an option to buy of 33 million euros, I think it is, from Juventus. He's a great midfielder, had a decent World Cup in my opinion, but there's talks that Forest are looking to hijack this. Now, I think there's no truth at all in these rumours whatsoever. I think this deal is going to get done by Leeds. I also don't think we need another bloody CM. I think we got plenty of them currently. We could probably field 2 teams of CMs at the moment in terms of what they can bring. Is he a good player? Absolutely. Would he have a role to play at Forest? Yes, he would. But this deal with Leeds is so far down the line that I expect it to be announced over the next day or 2 maximum. So don't expect the hijacking to happen. This is all paper talk as far as I'm concerned, and expect him to be revealed against Leeds. And that will mean he'll probably be able to play against us in our next Premier League game, which will be interesting to see. But a lot of paper talk on it, and for me, nothing grounded behind it. Let me know your thoughts though. Is he the player you would want at Forest? Or do you, like me, think we have enough CMs to literally fill a double-decker bus with? A lot of you have been asking me about our forgotten signings from the summer. Juan Joe, I think is how you pronounce it. The guy who went to Olympiacos, had a terrible World Cup as well, is potentially making a move for Forest over to, well, from Forest, should I say, even though he's not been at Forest, to the MLS. And I think it's Chicago Fire that are interested in him. To be honest, I don't really care too much about this deal. This is a player that was never really bought for Nottingham Forest. He was always going to go to Olympiacos. That's flopped. And now it looks like Forest and Olympiacos, in a way, are looking to cut their losses on this one. Now, will he be shipped out on loan or a perm deal? That we still don't know. But it looks like he will be traveling out to America to join Chicago Fire in the MLS. In terms of Brandon Aguilera, or Christina Aguilera, or whatever you want to call him, there's been a lot of questions about him. So just to give you a quick update on the young kid. He was on loan for 6 months. That has now finished. He can't come straight to Forest because I don't think he's got enough visa points accumulated to do it. So there is talks of getting him back out on loan. I can't get the words out today. Ideally, Forest would like to ship him out to a European club, but that will have visa issues as well. So that is what they are trying to do first. If they can achieve that, then he will go back out on loan. Outside of that, I can't really tell you much more because that's all the information we have on him, unfortunately. How good is the kid? Well, I saw him in the World Cup. Didn't really do it for me. He is still very, very young. So remember, he's got a lot of room to develop in. So I think a loan session for him is the best call. And let's see where he is in the summer. But as soon as we know where he's going to land, we, of course, will let you know on Forest Fan TV. So keep an eye out for that news. Anthony Gordon has signed for Newcastle United. Medical complete. Ink wet on the signature paper. All done. So now it's over to Newcastle United and Eddie Howe on Alan St. Maximum. And are they ready to let him leave there? And if so, will Forest be willing to sweep in for 26 million for the French wizard on that left wing? A lot of you are still divided on him. I still want him. I think he offers that unpredictability that only the likes of him have in the Premier League, and he can produce a goal or a chance out of nothing. So, domino number 3 has now fallen as Gordon has signed. Domino 2 fell yesterday as AC Milan declared themselves out. Let's see where the chips lie, and still a lot more dominoes that need to fall. But as always, we will keep you posted here. Chat, will I strengthen this one? No, I still keep this at a 30 to 40% chance of happening. But this is the transfer window, and we have the Greek father. Anything can happen, and it usually does. So just like in the summer window just gone, we'll be doing a live end of window stream, probably kicking off from about 9 o'clock. We're going to have some fun stuff coming up on that stream. So make sure you don't miss it. That will be on deadline day night, and we'll take you through to the final seconds of it and beyond if required, depending on who Nottingham Forest sign. Plenty more to come on this channel. A little hint for you, we're changing up the player ratings, and you'll get to see it firsthand after the Manchester United match. And I hope you're going to love what we've done with it. So keep an eye out for that. That will wrap the video up for now with your latest Forest news. Please don't forget before you walk away to hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. And if you want to support all the stuff we're doing here, helping us with upgrades and everything, just hit that join button. It's only 99p, or of course, you can donate directly to us, and that will support more than you know it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next video. And come on, you Reds.